Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel, your trusted space where we uncover the tender, unspoken, and sometimes magical stories that lie between two people who have changed what connection means for millions. Today, we bring you something truly rare. On a quiet, starlit evening in the Mediterranean, something so unexpected unfolded. It felt like the world momentarily paused. Not because of a long-awaited comeback announcement. Not because of a grand performance on stage, but because two names that forever stir hearts and theories, Jungkook and Jimin, were seen together on a private yacht, far from flashing cameras, curious stares, and the noise of the entertainment world. But this isn't the kind of story born from tabloids or wild speculation. No, this began with a single fan, someone in the right place at the right time, or maybe it was fate. This lucky fan had been enjoying a peaceful vacation at an ultra-exclusive port, a place of quiet luxury, where even celebrities can blend into the scenery. But amidst the gentle waves and serene twilight, the fan caught sight of two figures whose presence could never go unnoticed. Covered in oversized hoodies, moving in a rhythm that felt too familiar to be coincidence, it was them. It was Jungkook and Jimin. They boarded a sleek white yacht that radiated elegance but whispered privacy. No staff, no paparazzi, no entourage, just the two of them, disappearing into the golden horizon, as though they were escaping not just from fame, but from time itself, slipping into a bubble where nothing else existed but their shared silence and stolen moments. The fan later shared how their heart raced with disbelief. It wasn't just starstruck awe, it was deeper than that. It was the realization that they were witnessing something sacred. In a world obsessed with exposure and proof, this fan did the unthinkable. He didn't take a photo. He didn't secretly film. He didn't even try to get closer. Instead, he quietly turned away, not out of indifference, but out of profound respect. Because sometimes the most real things are the ones we choose not to capture. And yet, secrets have a way of gently drifting through the wind. A whisper to a close friend, a post on a niche fan forum, and soon, like moonlight on calm water, the story began to spread. But this wasn't tabloid fuel. No scandals, no dramatics. What followed was something beautiful. A wave of emotional resonance, of love, of awe, from Jikook fans around the globe who didn't ask for proof, because the story itself felt like poetry. According to the witness, Jungkook and Jimin seemed at peace. They sat close, side by side, their silhouettes outlined by the glow of the sunset. They weren't hiding. They weren't performing. They were just being, laughing gently at something only the two of them understood, gazing at the open sea, their hands brushing. There was a rare kind of silence between them, not empty, but full of years of shared memories, unspoken words, and quiet understandings. Some say they held hands as they disappeared into the cabin. Others simply say they looked happy. But what matters is not what was seen, but what was felt. And what was felt was something real, something unfiltered, and maybe something timeless. It made many fans pause. Perhaps this is what true connection looks like, not loud, not labeled, but quietly powerful. Jungkook and Jimin, who've stood side by side through fame, pressure, and the evolution of their youth, seem to have carved a private world within the vastness of the ocean. Was it a vacation, a quiet celebration, or something more intimate, a moment of clarity between two hearts who never stopped choosing each other? We may never know, and maybe we're not meant to. What we do know is this: love in any form doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, and even when hidden, it still shines. This private cruise became not a scandal, but a symbol of how some things are too sacred to expose, too beautiful to exploit, and far too real to be doubted. The fan who first saw them left us with a final note, a sentence that has now been etched into the hearts of thousands. Please keep this as a beautiful memory, not a gossip. Let them be happy, even if it's just behind the scenes. And maybe in that one line lies the whole truth. Because this story isn't about confirmation. It isn't about proof or labels or who saw what. It's about two souls, Jungkook and Jimin, who found each other again and again, in silence, in shadows, in the gentle lull of waves, and perhaps in love. As soon as the story made its quiet rounds on niche fan forums, It wasn't just a frenzy of speculation that erupted, it was an emotional tidal wave. Fans across time zones and languages shared the same reaction. Breathless, teary, and grateful. This wasn't just news. It was something deeper, a reminder, a quiet affirmation that maybe, just maybe, what they've been feeling all along was real. Some fans wept as they read the testimony. One fan from Brazil wrote, "I don't need pictures. I've seen the way they look at each other since 2013. This is just the sea giving them the space they always deserved." Another from South Korea echoed, "It feels like we've all been walking beside them, step by step, and now we're being asked to simply trust. In an era where everything must be documented, the absence of photos wasn't frustrating, it was sacred. In fact, it made the story more intimate, because this wasn't a moment for the world. It was a moment for them. And perhaps for us, who have followed their journey for years, it felt like a silent gift. Glimpses from the past, the story beneath the surface. To truly understand the weight of this private yacht sighting, one must return to the thousands of small moments that have painted the Jikook story over the years. The shared glances during award shows that said more than any speech. The way Jimin always turned toward Jungkook's voice, no matter how loud the room. The way Jungkook once whispered Jimin's name like it was both a question and an answer. The ocean has always symbolized depth, vastness, and mystery. And in many cultures, it represents the subconscious, a place where true emotions are hidden beneath still waters. That's exactly where this story lives. Not on the surface, but in the unspoken current beneath. As the yacht drifted away from shore, so too did the weight of expectation. The need to be Jungkook and Jimin from BTS. For that moment, they were just two souls, perhaps in love, perhaps in search of freedom, escaping into a world where no one could follow. The unnamed fan who witnessed the entire moment could have easily taken a different path. In today's viral world, a blurry photo of Jungkook and Jimin on a yacht could have broken the internet. Media outlets would have paid thousands. Headlines would have exploded. But the fan chose to protect. And in doing so, they became a silent hero in this story. Their decision turned what could have been gossip into a sacred narrative. Their words, "Please keep this as a beautiful memory," not a gossip, became a banner under which thousands rallied. It reminded the fandom that the greatest form of love is respect. This decision has sparked a quiet revolution in the fandom, one of maturity, patience, and emotional intelligence. One where love is not about exposure, but preservation. Jikook theories rekindled. What does this mean? Of course, with every Jikook story, theories begin to swirl. But this time, the energy is different. It's not about proving anything. It's about understanding. Some fans believe this yacht trip marked an anniversary. Others think it may have been a farewell, a last quiet moment before upcoming schedules tear them apart again. There are those who wonder if it was a celebration of survival, of friendship, of something deeper. And some simply believe it was a long overdue breath of freedom for two people who rarely get to be alone. No theory is confirmed, and that's okay, because maybe this time it's not about finding answers. Maybe it's about learning to cherish the unknown, the unsaid, the unshown. And that's the end of today's story, Jikookies. Some love stories don't need proof, just feeling. If this moment warmed your heart, leave it in the comments and let's keep this memory beautiful, not viral. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more quiet truths and tender Jikook moments only here on Jikook Diaries. Until next time, keep believing in the love that hides in silence. Thank you for watching.